What up, YouTube? Absolute here, aka Loot, or username, aka The Absolute One. Introduction: just join the party or the movement with my Mamba Monster Rustler. Here she is. Kind of give a little background and kind of why she looks unconventional setup as it is right now. First, I kind of started building the Rustler, and I build all my trucks from upgraded parts instead of redundantly purchasing a truck, tearing it down, having a bunch more stock parts, and then replacing everything. So I built it from upgrades, and that's kind of how I started with her. Started putting it together, and then at first I was shooting straight for the 100-mile-an-hour setup. And after a while kind of doing so, I was like, well, you know, there's not really places to run around here, and I'm just going to go ahead and do a 3-cell, more conventional setup, 70 miles an hour type setup. And so I did so. I got this body here. I placed the ProTrack front arms for a wider, more aggressive handling beast. J-Concept G-Locks on Proline Desperado rims. And that's kind of the thing. Yet to drive her, and then I kind of had told my friends and family also about it, and I kind of changed my mind. I was like, well, you know what? Instead of just doing that, I think I'm going to shoot for the 100-mile-an-hour setup, especially with watching all the guys on YouTube. Before I continue, shout outs to all the guys who've done this before me. Starting to get big out there. I remember seeing it when it first started happening from Draven. And now it's like the more I look, the more guys keep popping out with Mamba Monster Rustler. So that's wicked. Shout out to that. From what I know, unless someone proves or says otherwise, I should be the first person in the state of Utah to do this. So that'd be pretty cool. And I'll say that too as well, because a lot of the local hobby shops know me well. And those guys there have yet to see something like this. When I bring it in, they kind of still trip out and act like, you know, they've never seen before. So I don't think they have here in this state, locally. I don't think anyone has done this. So that's pretty cool. By no means the first guy, but out here in the West Coast, state of Utah, I'll be the first guy. So we'll go back to the story. So that's kind of the whole setup. And I finished her. And then I kind of thought, you know what? I'm going to go for the Mamba Monster Rustler. Go for the 100-mile-an-hour. The dope bragging rights, all of you know. Having an RC that goes 100 miles an hour is sick. That's kind of the direction I went. So I kind of started heading that way. So, turn around here. So that's kind of what I figured I'd change my mind. So when I was purchasing electronics instead of purchasing a conventional one, I went ahead and purchased the Mamba Monster. I got the Revo motor, so that, you know, for the color sakes, pretty much all that really was for. Sake of the color of the motor was for the Revo motor there. Pretty finicky about colors, and I like my stuff to look good and perform really well. So went ahead with the Mamba Monster Revo motor, and then on NTG gearbox, which, like a lot of people, you know, I'm definitely against NTG, but you know, a gearbox is one thing. A big chunk of aluminum, I think, is hard to go wrong. And they definitely do make a really decent gearbox for a good price. And so, and you know, the options out there are, I guess, not too huge. So it definitely is a good option. That's what I went for as well, to fit the motor. Wheelie bar is definitely something I don't believe anyone on the whole YouTube thing has seen. Some of the forums out there, this is known. On YouTube, I don't believe anyone has it. Again, I'm not sure. I haven't seen all of them. I've seen quite a bit of them, and I've never seen it before. Typically, it's either NTG or the T-Bone Racing, which I think are great parts, but not really for me. So this right here is called Swami Bar from SwamiRC.com. And nice thing about it is a big chunk of aluminum running underneath. You got that bar across, and it is sold with some airplane-type wheels. Or it's available with the Traxxas upgraded wheelie bar wheels, as you see here. Nice thing is the mount, instead of the conventional Traxxas bolts, you got these big giant 5mm bolts running into the bar, as you see here. The red washers were my touch. And nice thing is too, well, I mean, the shipping took a long time. It took a good month to get it, and then get in communication with the guy. It's a one-man shop type thing. The top of its finish was kind of terrible. It was scratched up, and when I saw it, I was kind of surprised by that. It was missing a part. You also have to ship that out, but it shipped it out quickly and apologized for it. But when I did receive it, the top of its finish was not great, to say the least. It was scratched up, so I ended up wet sanding it to start out with 300, 600, 1,000, and 2,000 grit wet sandpaper to it, and then followed by some others aluminum shine to it to get that mirror-like finish. So with the combo with the motor, you can kind of see in the light, it kind of gleams, which is pretty cool. So check out this wheelie bar for sure. I'll kind of give you a side view here. It's low and slung, and as you can see here, the bar usually goes on the bottom, but with how low it is here, I actually had to flip it up top and run it that way, but you can kind of see the level. Moving on, kind of get inside. Now, as you can kind of see, I mean, the build, kind of everything is not stock anymore except for the chassis, which was dyed. And then the truck itself is full of STRC aluminum. Again, going back to the Pro Chalk arms, I do have the Revo stuff going on here. I do have it available, and that's kind of how I first started building it, and then I changed, and now I'm going to go back. I'm a huge Pro Track fan, so instead of that aggressive handlers. Front tower as well, I had an STRC rear tower that's aluminum, and the front one, then switching the back. It didn't fit well with the body. Front one's probably going to go back on, and then of course RPM arms are likely going to go back on. Something you might not have seen before, front tie bar. So this red aluminum tie bar, I think, ties everything in really well together instead of the conventional tie bar, which kind of looks like a little bit of an eyesore, in my opinion, and on my rig. And then, of course, you got the ESC. I still have yet to permanently mount it. I was going to do something else. I'm going to lengthen the wire and stick it right here, the wires, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to go ahead and go for what a lot of guys do. There's not really much room to work with here anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and mount it located right here where the guys do, I think, is a good place. One thing for sure that I haven't seen a lot of the YouTube guys discuss is the servos. I mean, they got some high-powered setups, high speeds, but I think a lot of guys may be running Traxxas 2075, which are halfway decent servos for what they are, ready to run servos. There's so many worse ready to run servos out there, but there's so much better things out there. Try to get the camera down. So much better stuff out there. This, for example, is one of those things that you purchase and you become a believer. Savox has been coming around big time, and a lot of these hobby stores are stocking it. It is a 1258 TG, which is a popular servo. For the specs of the servo, you got, the speed is 0.07 seconds, about twice as fast as the Traxxas 2075 or 76, which is waterproof, and 166 ounces of torque, which is definitely decent, especially for this one. I run a higher one in my monster truck, 278, but for this, that's pretty perfect. Titanium gear, they're like 10 times as strong, big difference. And that speed is definitely the big thing. So, definitely if you got your whole setup and everything looks good and you're missing that one thing, try an upgraded servo with higher specs because it is a big difference. I have a Mach 1 in there now. As you can see, I'm running a Kimbrough servo saver, and then I have the black link bar there, some black touches, STRC aluminum belt cranks, which I had a few of them. These are one of the best belt cranks out there, but actually the Traxxas one, they kind of stay stronger than the Traxxas one even, which most, of course, as you know, most Traxxas parts in aluminum are a little bit better than STRC, but that's actually one of them that the STRC actually, that and shock caps takes the cake. Go back to shocks, those are STRC shock bodies with shock caps. Inside I got RPM dual stage pistons and titanium nitride shafts. Basically a big bore, but a little bit better because they're bigger, so better than a big bore, which I do have big bores, by the way, around. That's for the shock setup right there. I built those myself. RPM dual stage pistons are awesome. You get a faster rebound, much faster, and you can kind of change the settings. So you can run, for example, if you run 50 weight oil, you're going to get 50 weight oil on compression, but you're going to have 25 or so on rebound. That may not be exact, but something along those lines theory. Coming to the back, we got ourselves here. I have a Traxxas 36 tooth spur. I ordered a 34 tooth spur from the hobby shop. They gave me 3 weeks. A month came by. They still hadn't had it. And then I checked up on it again, and they said it was still on back order. So that was kind of ridiculous. So what I ended up doing was I ended up finding one online. As a lot of guys may have looked. They're extremely sold out and hard to find right now. If they're even making them anymore, maybe. But they are hard to find. So, but I ended up locating it on a hobby store. If you need to know where, hit me up. I'll let you know. The drive shafts that you see, those are the MIP CVDs. Terrible drive shafts. I got those a long time ago, and I actually just put them on just for mock-up. The actual drive shafts, of course, are one that are really awesome, and that's, of course, the Traxxas 58 or 6852X slash 4x4 Stampede 4x4 HD drive shafts. I run them on my Stampede, and they're super, super strong. I'm going to run the Rustler as well, so those will get switched out. And then also, waiting for the pinion to get here. One like some examples, actually. I have a good idea, and I'm big into gearing. I know I have a lot of gears, 48 pitch, 32 pitch. But in terms of what pinion and where from is a good option in regards to a perfect fit with this transmission and this motor and the 40 and 34 tooth spur, which is a popular setup. So if you know and you got some good couple of ones, hit me down. Larger the pinion, the better, of course. And of course, these J-Concept G-Locks tires rate up to about 60 miles an hour. I got them right when they came out, and I've never run them. So a lot of guys got them after me, and I hear good things about them. But it's kind of funny that I got them, and I definitely never ran them. But they're going to stay that way here too shortly, because I did go ahead and the setup for the 100 miles an hour course. Body's going to be switched out to the a clear Rustler body. In my opinion, I'm sure a lot of you guys, especially since a lot of us run it or will or are, they just did a good job with this body for sure. I mean, Traxxas, I think, did a terrific job with this body for sure, and it's a good looking one. Plus, the aerodynamics, I think, are obviously are much better. And then on the back, I like a little bit more of the breathing room instead of being so close to the motor. A little bit more airflow around, not so much the parachute effect, so that's a good thing. And then as for regards to wheels and tires, I think I'm going to order also some GRPs, but I did go ahead and I picked up some X01 wheels and tires. Kind of see the mock-up of throwing these on. I just got to go get some 17mm hexes, get some good ones around. You can kind of see the mock-up of the Rustler. So I've seen, of course, Geo South runs them. I've yet to seen someone run them on the video, so I'm hoping they work out well and all that good stuff. So on the Rustler, of course, obviously they do just fine on the XO. With that, that's my Rustler. Thanks for checking it out. Rate, comment, subscribe, hit the like button below, whatever. Drop me a line, and I'll see you later. Peace.